Welcome to Chapter 7 of Social Psychology. We're going to be talking about liking, love, and other close relationships, factors of likability, forming relationships, types of interaction, of attraction, love, and close relationships. The role of needs and emotions. Humans have a universal, fundamental need to form and maintain strong, stable interpersonal relationships. Belonging is not optional. It's a basic psychological motive like hunger or thirst. We seek frequent, positive social interactions, ongoing, stable, caring bonds. This isn't just a preference, it's a drive that shapes thought, emotion, and behavior. Evidence for the need to belong, emotional consequences, inclusion equals higher self-esteem, better mood, exclusion can lead to loneliness, sadness, and even aggression. It also has health outcomes, social support, lower stress, boost immunity. Loneliness is linked to depression, cardiovascular disease, and earlier mortality. The cognitive effects, it impairs self-regulation, reduces IQ test performance temporarily when one is faced with social exclusion. The behavioral effects of social exclusion increases conformity, aggression, or desperate attempt for attention. The pain overlap, social rejection activates brain areas similar to physical pain. The similarity hypothesis states that we are more attracted to people who are similar to us in important ways: attitudes, values, interests, background, and even personality. Birds of a feather flock together is more accurate than opposites attract. Newcomb in 1961, in a study of college roommates, said liking increased as similarity and attitudes increased. When these needs are fulfilled, it equals well-being, stability. When frustrated, it equals loneliness and distress. Tie this back to Maslow's hierarchy and note that belonging needs are foundational for higher psychological growth. Emotions as signals. Emotions guide relationship behaviors by signaling. Approach is happiness, love, attraction. Avoidance, anger, disgust, fear. Positive emotions reinforce closeness, trust, and satisfaction. Negative emotions can damage relationships, but also signal problems needing attention. Emotions function as social glue. They motivate caregiving, empathy, and attachment. Passionate versus companionate love. Passionate love, intense emotions, arousal, desire, associated with dopamine and norepinephrine, peaks early, often declines over time. Companionate love is deep affection, trust, and intimacy linked to oxytocin and long-term bonding, grows stronger with commitment and shared history. Why does similarity matter? Validation of self. When others share our attitudes, it reinforces our beliefs and makes us feel understood. Predictability. Similar people are easier to understand and anticipate. There's less conflict, more stability. Smooth interaction. Shared interests and values make conversations flow. Activities are more enjoyable. Social support. Similar values strengthen mutual support and commitment. When dissimilarity can work. Complementary hypothesis. Opposites can attract if differences fulfill needs. For example, dominant with submissive. But evidence suggests this is much weaker and less stable over time compared to similarity. We are attracted to people who are similar to us in attitudes, values, background, interest, and personality. And as I said before, birds of a feather flock together. Why does matching happen, as in this example here? Fear of rejection. People avoid pursuing someone out of their league. Social exchange perspective. Relationships involve a balance of rewards and costs. Matching ensures equity and reduces jealousy. Social validation. Being with someone equally attractive feels more socially acceptable and stable. Limitations of the matching theory is matching applies most strongly to physical attractiveness, but also appears in personality, social status, or resources. Online dating and social media can distort matching patterns, perceived versus actual attractiveness. Exceptions do exist. For example, one partner higher in attractiveness, but balanced by other qualities like wealth, humor, or status. Liking those who like us. Reciprocity of attraction. The reciprocity of liking effect states that people are more attracted to others when they believe those others already like them. Even subtle cues of liking, a smile, positive feedback, approval, increase attraction. Curtis and Miller in 1986 had participants who were led to believe that another person like them behaved more warmly and became more likable in return. Aronson and Linder in 1965, The Gain-Loss Effect. We like people most when they increase their liking for us from negative to positive rather than staying positive all along. An example might be a classmate who seemed distant at first but later warms up is especially appealing. Reciprocity works by self-affirmation. Being liked boosts self-esteem and feels validating. It also works because of reduced risk. Knowing someone likes us lowers the fear of rejection. There's a behavioral loop. When we feel liked, we act friendlier, they like us more, and then the positive cycle repeats itself. Social exchange theory, mutual liking creates balance and equity in relationships. Some examples where people are good at interacting with others. Friendships. Liking grows when people show acceptance. Romantic attraction. Playing hard to get works less than showing real interest. Teaching and mentorship. Students work harder when they feel their teacher values them. Workplace. Mutual appreciation strengthens collaboration. People who are socially skilled, warm, responsive, expressive, and emotionally attuned tend to be more liked and sought after as friends or partners. It's not only what they saw, but how they engage in interaction. Key components of social skills are responsiveness, warmth, expressiveness, and emotional intelligence, which means awareness and regulation of one's own and others' emotions. Why people with certain traits are more attractive than others. We'll start with the Big Five. The Big Five, the acronym is OCEAN, and that includes openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. Personality matters. Agreeableness and conscientiousness equal healthiest relationship. Extroversion equals initial attraction. Neuroticism equals instability. Narcissism may spark attraction, but undermines long-term love. Narcissism is an inflated self-view, need for admiration, lack of empathy. It exists on a spectrum from healthy self-confidence to pathological narcissism. Narcissists can seem charming, confident, and charismatic at first. Attractiveness linked to status-seeking, boldness, and self-presentation skills. Relationships often deteriorate. Self-centeredness undermines empathy. You're prone to manipulation, jealousy, and controlling behaviors with narcissism. And there are high rates of conflict and instability. How do the two interact? Personality traits shape who we like and how we love. The Big Five framework provides key predictors of relationship success. Let's tie it together. Proximity and similarity get us in the door. Reciprocity and matching keep attraction going. Social skill determines whether relationships actually thrive. Gender differences in attraction and relationships. The Evolutionary Perspective, Buss, 1989. Men tend to prioritize physical attractiveness and cues to fertility. Women tend to prioritize status, resources, commitment, as these are historically increased offspring survival. The social role perspective, Eagly and Wood in 1999, said that gender differences are shaped by social norms and roles, not just biology. In societies with more gender equality, men and women show more similar preferences. The emotional expression. Women generally score higher in emotional intelligence and are more likely to express affection openly. Men often report valuing shared activities as expressions of intimacy. Men report more jealousy over sexual infidelity. Women report more jealousy over emotional infidelity. Gender differences exist but are shaped by both biology and culture. Relationships evolve, passion becomes intimacy, intimacy becomes commitment. Success depends on adaptation across stages, regardless of gender. Romantic relationships. The definition involves a blend of passion, intimacy, and commitment. Sternberg's triangular theory, which we'll get to. It's distinguished from friendship by intensity of passion and exclusivity. Passionate love is intense arousal, longing, desire. It's fueled by dopamine and norepinephrine. I'm repeating myself, but it's worth noting. And it often peaks early in relationships. Companionate love is warmth, trust, stability, deep emotional connection, linked to oxytocin, which is bonding, and long-term commitment. Why is love a mystery? Neuroscience can explain chemical processes. Social psychology can explain attraction, attachment, and relationship dynamics. Yet love retains an element of unpredictability, uniqueness, and personal meaning. Love is a paradox. Rational yet irrational, universal yet uniquely personal, predictable patterns. Sternberg's triangular model of love. The three components are intimacy, passion, and commitment. Intimacy is emotional closeness, trust, warmth, self-disclosure. Passion is physical attraction, sexual desire, infatuation. Commitment is the decision to maintain a relationship. Short term, I love you. Long term, I will stay with you forever. Combinations equal the types of love. Liking, close friendships without passion or commitment. Infatuation, love at first sight, intense but shallow. Empty love, staying together without passion or intimacy. Romantic love, closeness plus desire but no long-term commitment. Companionate love, deep affection and stability, often after passion fades. Fatuous love, whirlwind romance, commitment without real intimacy. Consummate love, intimacy and passion and commitment. It's the ideal love, rare, balanced, but must be maintained. Why this model matters. It shows that love isn't just one feeling, it's a dynamic combination. Relationships change over time. The early stages equal passion and they are heavy. The later stages equal intimacy and commitment strengthens. Consummate love is rare, but many couples find satisfaction in companionate love. Key takeaways. Love is a dynamic system, not one fixed state. Most relationships move between the types of love. The triangle helps explain why relationships succeed or fail. Jealousy and infidelity. Jealousy is an emotional reaction to the perceived threat of losing a valued relationship to a rival. It blends fear, anger, sadness, insecurity, and often leads to protective or controlling behavior. Emotional jealousy is distress over a partner's emotional attachment to someone else. Sexual jealousy is distress over a partner's physical or sexual involvement with someone else. Infidelity is defined as breaking expectations of exclusivity in a romantic relationship, emotional, sexual, or both. Different forms. Sexual infidelity is physical acts outside the relationship. Emotional infidelity, forming a deep emotional bond with someone else. Online virtual infidelity is digital sexting, emotional affairs via social media. Causes of these are low relationship satisfaction, high conflict, opportunity and secrecy, high neuroticism or narcissism, evolutionary, desire for genetic diversity are men, resource security, women. Consequences are jealousy, betrayal, mistrust, often leads to breakup and divorce, though some couples are able to rebuild. Family relationships, parent-child bonds, are the foundation of attachment theory. Securely early attachment equals healthier adult romantic relationships. Parenting styles affect later social competence. Sibling relationships are a unique mix of intimacy and rivalry. They provide early lessons in conflict resolution, sharing, and cooperation. They often become stronger in adulthood. Intergenerational relationships, bonds with grandparents or adult children. They provide emotional support, continuity, and cultural transmission. Friendships. They're voluntary, reciprocal, usually non-sexual, built on similarity, reciprocity, trust, and enjoyment. Functions of friendships are emotional support, companionship, and they buffer against stress, especially crucial in adolescence and early adulthood. They are predictors of mental health and resilience. Expanding circles. Aaron et al. In 1992 did a study on the inclusion of others in the self model. Close relationships help us expand our sense of self. Belonging needs extend beyond romance and family into groups, teams, and communities. Social support networks provide instrumental support, tangible help, emotional support, empathy and listening, informational support, advice and guidance. The larger and stronger the network, the better outcomes in stress and health. Broader bonds include mentorships, workplace connections, and community belongings. The message to take away is close relations go far beyond romance. Family, friends, mentors, and communities fulfill belonging needs. These relationships provide identity, resilience, and meaning across the lifespan. To summarize, we have a need for affiliation, the influence of proximity, characteristics affecting attraction, love and its many forms, and relationships with family and friendship dynamics. See you next time in Chapter 8.